Yeah, got my popcorn for the show, it's Tubi time. Cheesy sci-fi flicks and every weird rhyme. Aliens and spaceships made a tinfoil dream.
Hello, and welcome to another fine episode of To Be Decided. My name is Mike, and we're coloring out of the lines today, folks. That's the best way I can put it.
We're taking up all the space.
Yep. We are. Yeah, we saw the movie The Color Purple, and it's not what I expected at all. Not as historical and racial as people talk about.
Kind of weird and
No.
gross.
Yeah, very dark for such a Oscar award-winning movie. No, we saw.
I knew people weren't happy with Harold and the purple crayon, but
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be this bad.
So yeah,
Nicolas Cage is Harold.
this is part of the trilogy: The Color Purple, Color Out of Space, and
The Color of
Harold
Friendship.
and the Purple. Yes. No.
Wait, is this? What about the prequel, Color of Money?
The Color of Money. Yeah, basically any movie with the word color or purple in it is part of this universe.
Yeah, but not space.
It's a huge universe. I mean, MCU, eat your heart out.
It's like the 64 crayon, Crayola box universe.
Right.
Crayola.
I can't connect them very well, though.
No, the
They're
Easter
very
eggs are
disjointed.
the Easter eggs are wild. Well, maybe we should tell people what we saw. Color Out of Space, and even before that, maybe you guys should introduce yourselves.
Oh, hey, I'm Adam.
I'm Ivy.
I'm Vin, and I'm the reason that we have this whole discussion about color coming at you.
Yeah. You chose the movie Color Out of Space.
I did.
Why did you pick something that we'd like?
Well,
that's not the rules of this show.
Okay, for one, I didn't expect you to like it.
Yeah.
And for two,
I know.
No. This is kind of something that I was just browsing around on Tubi, and it came up in my feed. I'm like, oh, Color Out of Space, like the Lovecraft story, because I read a lot of HP Lovecraft back in the day as a moody teenager, having just cut his teeth on some Edgar Allan Poe, and thought this would be a great piece to dive into for To Be Decided.
Well, you were right. I think you accidentally picked our highest rated movie. And that's saying something, saying that our last episode had Tom Hanks in it. But this movie got an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, but only a 6.1 on IMDb. Those harsh monsters. We can't please you, IMDb. It's insane. So, yeah, critics calling this movie fantastic, a trippy throb, hypnotic horror. Meanwhile, IMDb's like, it's okay.
I fear I'm the IMDb in this situation.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. So wait. Let's look at our other movie rankings, okay?
Oh boy.
This movie is better than American Gothic, 5.8, Leviathan, 5.8, Heavenly Sword, 5.3, Scary Movie, 4.8, but it is not better than Cash Storm, Crossroads, Don't Mess with Grandma, and Dante's Inferno animated epic.
Whoa.
Whoa. Dante's Inferno got marked higher than this?
It's a solid 6.5.
That
On IMDb.
Whoa.
IMDb.
This
Yeah,
I'm shocked by all of those numbers.
right.
I guess you can say so far we've run the full spectrum of what Tubi has to offer.
Yeah.
Right, right. And guys, I'm just telling you, if we're gonna pick winners from now on, I'm out. I'm out. I need a meth
That's not what
gator.
we're about here.
I need a meth gator thrown in once in a while. And since I'm next for the movie, you can expect at least that.
Oh joy.
So
I do think, on the whole, I think I've probably picked the most movies with the lowest ratings.
Really?
well,
Because D&D was like a 3.
um,
Gator was like low.
yeah. So
And Leviathan
your
was 2.
Dungeons and Dragons comes in fourth last.
Mhm.
Right underneath Meth Gator, Santa Werewolf, and Avengers Grimm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, we all contributed to the best and the worst.
Yeah.
Well, didn't I pick Meth Gator? Who picked Meth Gator?
I
I thought
picked
that
Meth
was
Gator.
Mike. Because you
Okay.
picked
You
Cash
picked Cat
Storm.
Storm.
Hash Storm. That's what it was.
Uh,
Wow.
well, it just shows you have a great backlog, folks. But let's talk about this movie because it's got a lot in it. Richard Stanley directed and wrote it, and he did The Island of Dr. Moreau. Um,
Yes.
Oh, that's where I thought that name was familiar. You're talking about like the one with Marlon Brando, Val Kilmer.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Like that was a really good movie, and it stands out to me because, well, my mother's maiden name happens to be Moreau, and she's a former marine biologist, so so she kind of identified with the original story,
Wow.
being a Dr. Moreau herself.
Well, that's great. It all comes together.
It does.
Yes.
It's all linked. It's
So this
all linked.
yes, this movie has Nicolas Cage in it. And I want to say that this is the best actor that we've had on the show. But 2 weeks ago, we had Tom Hanks. I can't even say that he's the most well paid. Though it did rise a question. Would you rather have a Tom Hanks career where you're only given like the most choice roles that fit you perfectly, but you can't do as many movies, or would you rather have a Nicolas Cage career where you pick up anything that lives or moves or calls your name?
I mean, I don't have any evidence to the contrary, but I feel like Tom Hanks has done a pretty comparable amount of movies to Nick. Because it feels like Tom Hanks is in everything, man.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think he's just in the more like palatable, marketable
Yeah,
movies.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage is just like, oh, a pig? I'll do that. Like
Magician's Nephew, count me in.
Yes. Right. Well, it's funny if you go on these Tubi films, you see like Nicolas Cage's DVD, like straight to DVD career, and
Mhm.
they're all like these weird, like single word movies, like Rage, Fury, Dark, and you're like, are these movies related to each other?
So I guess that was his like bargain bin edgelord phase
Yeah.
early on.
yeah.
You know, I feel like he wore a lot of leather jackets in those. Like think of Nick Cage in that era. Yeah, he's got a leather jacket on him. Like I just can't picture him without it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, also, I actually share a birthday with Nick Cage.
Whoa,
Oh,
what an
nice.
honor
Not a
for
year,
you.
obviously, but same day.
Nice, nice. Same zodiac then.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Rising psychopath.
Yes. Insane freak.
Mhm. So we also have Jolie Richardson as
Mhm.
Nicolas Cage's wife, Tommy Chong as weird stoner hippie who just kind of
Ezra.
lives on their
Yeah.
line. We have Madeline Arthur, who somehow looks 18 years old and 40 years old at the same time. That's the daughter. And Elliot Knight, he plays the hydrologist.
Yes.
Hmm.
I just realized when you said that, because I didn't really pay attention to the opening credits. So Tommy Chong, is that like of Cheech and Chong? Is that why he's playing the stoner?
Yes.
The very
I
same.
That's crazy.
I think you might, as I'm saying it out loud, Cheech and Chong's last movie. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine that casting meeting? We just gotta get Tommy Chong. Uh, he will make this movie what it is.
It's weird that we've got, Tommy Chong and Nicolas Cage in the same movie. I mean, that's just weird to think about. I mean, they don't share any scenes together, but
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if they did?
Yeah.
Just-
Also, it's worth it if you go to the Rotten Tomatoes page of Tommy Chong, he's never been in a bad movie. They're all certified fresh. How
There's
is that
no
possible?
way. There's no way.
Well, okay, I was looking at his highest rated movie, so maybe that.
Because he was definitely in recent years he's been in he's gotta been in some stinker of kids movies.
All right. Yeah, he was in the Fluffy movie. Hoodwinked 2. Okay, some of these are horrible. Evil Bong. Um, High Times Potluck got a perfect 0. Oh.
That's what we're watching now.
McHale's Navy. Okay. All right. So I
Walk it
misread
back,
it.
Mike. Walk
I,
it back,
I,
Mike.
I thought I was reading his whole filmography. I was just reading the movies he wants you to know he did was in. Okay.
well,
You were
well,
like,
like,
he only
they,
picks winners.
Yes.
well, they can't all be zingers, man.
Well, anyways, I think this is the longest we've hemmed and hawed. Do you want to give us the synopsis, Vin?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's get into this because there is a lot to unpack.
Mhm.
Okay. In Color Out of Space, Nathan Gardner moves his family to a remote farm for a fresh start after his wife's mastectomy. Their new beginning turns nightmarish when a vibrantly colored meteorite crashes into their yard. A hydrologist, Ward Phillips, oh, that's a familiar name, discovers the meteor has contaminated their water, and despite his warnings, the family quickly becomes infected by its bizarre influence. The insidious color causes horrifying mutations. Little Jack becomes fixated on the well. Teresa gruesomely injures herself, and Benny experiences strange time distortions. Nathan becomes consumed by rage as the farm's crops desiccate. Lavinia attempts a desperate ritual, but the color's true horror descends, fusing Teresa and Jack into a monstrous mass. Nathan, increasingly unhinged, euthanizes their mutated alpacas and struggles to do the same for his wife and son. Lavinia and Benny try to escape, but Benny is assimilated by the color in the well. Nathan, fully deranged, traps Lavinia with the monstrous Teresa and Jack. Ward and the sheriff arrive, saving Lavinia and forcing Nathan to kill the creatures that were once his family. As the color erupts from the well, the sheriff accidentally shoots Nathan. Ward finds Lavinia consumed by the color, which then explodes, revealing a terrifying vision of its alien origin before disintegrating her. As reality unravels, Ward is pursued by Nathan's apparition and hides in the cellar as the farm is utterly destroyed, leaving only a blasted heath. Years later, Ward, now older, stands over the dam covering the site. He vows never to drink the water, understanding the color was a messenger from beyond human comprehension, its subtle horror still lingering. So, with
All right.
that being said, oh boy. So, the color.
The color.
The color. The color.
The color.
How would we
Indeed.
describe the shade of this color that sort of descends
Fuchsia.
onto the property? Yes. Yes, somewhere between fuchsia and magenta.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
How many of you were worried kind of at the beginning that it might have been a little too slow? They might have been taking a little too much time setting up the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Because I was. I was.
It gets it going. All right. It takes
Yeah.
its time setting it up.
Yeah.
I feel like it had to sort of it had to sort of play catch up in the middle. Like, somewhere
Yeah.
toward like the middle or like the end of the second act, things really took a turn.
Mhm.
Like everything just got way, way more intense. I mean, the effects of what the invading color was doing to the family. I mean, one moment you've got sort of, kids staring off into space and, mom accidentally cutting her hand, to just full on like chimeric horror
Yes.
elements. Yeah.
I was having so much trouble pinpointing the symptoms. All right, staring off into space. Okay, that I had that down. Okay, fusing with your mom. Okay, that's another symptom of this rock. All right, getting super angry at simple household chores. Okay, thinking you fed alpacas when maybe you didn't. That's another symptom of this alien. It's man, this is not a drug you want to take.
Yeah.
I feel like most of that though is just senior moments when you describe it like that.
Right. Is this
Yeah.
movie a metaphor for Alzheimer's?
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe. But it's definitely something that when the director, Richard Stanley, decided to sort of give a look to the color out of space, it's interesting that he went with effects that were in the fuchsia magenta sort of range there, because you might hear some discussion like on the internet that like fuchsia isn't a real color. Like, what do you mean it's not a real color? Well, by that means that the color fuchsia does not naturally occur in nature. Like whenever because it's a blending of particles that are from either end of the visible light spectrum. That's, you've got some like red wavelengths, and then you have, the blue and the violet wavelengths on the other side. Nothing in nature does that. I mean,
Interesting.
yes, it is, because because, to my knowledge, we've only been able to produce colors like that artificially with, paints and dyes
Yeah.
and, that sort of thing. So to see something like a color like that happen in, you know, in what's assumed to be, bioorganic in nature, that just, it adds to the bizarre atmosphere of the story.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that the color fuchsia was based on the flower fuchsia.
Uh-oh.
I was not aware of the
'Cause, like- Because
fuchsia.
like all
I am not a botanist.
Here, I will Google it. We'll put an
Because-
end to this.
because like in Pokemon, it always comes back to Pokemon.
Oh wait. So you're basing this on Pokemon?
No, but all the towns are named like after like a color palette. That's why you start in Palette Town.
Whoa.
So, like Fuchsia City.
Okay, so there is a flower called fuchsia, but it comes in several different colors, including pink, purple, red, and white. So it's unclear whether they're actually like the color fuchsia, or they just have like these contrasting colors.
The fuchsia. Well, it's the color, like the color that they use in the movie is very similar to that like
Yeah.
purple pink fuchsia flower.
Strange, but I really like your theory, Vin, because that fits the movie. So find a color that looks like that people haven't discovered yet.
Yeah.
No, because like the whole thing is at least from the the book, the novelization, the short
Mhm.
story or whatever from HP Lovecraft, they kind of describe it also in the movie too. The idea that this color is indescribable, right? And they only use color as an analogy because they don't have the words to describe it. And that's kind of like what HP Lovecraft's writing is. And like
Right.
Vin, an experienced reader of H.P. Lovecraft, a lot of the things that make H.P. Lovecraft scary aren't necessarily the big monsters and things like that, because a lot of those are undescribed, right? Like the focus of a lot of these is like the
Yeah.
fear of the unknown, and
Oh, yeah.
like oftentimes Lovecraft would be like, and it was an indescribable horror. The end.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of what H.P. Lovecraft didn't write, or what he
Right,
doesn't use to
Yeah.
describe something that might keep you up at night thinking
Right.
about for a
Yeah.
while.
The funny thing about that is Ivy and I we listen to a podcast that reads books, and when authors try to do that, like they try to say, oh, the monster looked like a monster that you would totally be scared of. Like, it sounds so lazy, and it sounds like it. So whatever HP did, he did it right, and no one has been able to do it without sounding like they're lazy or just don't want to bother to explain things.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really like the scene where he like sees into her mind or whatever. And it shows something that's like, why would you show that? Like, that's the whole point, is that you cannot comprehend it. You can't, like, the viewer can't see it.
Right.
And whatever is in their mind is worse than what you could show in this movie. And something else that I thought was really funny was it's kind of a lower budget. Like, it's not like a huge budget. It was a Shudder movie. Which is really funny on Tubi because you're watching it on Tubi and it says like a Shudder original. But they some of the practical effects are okay, like with the the body horror stuff and like the bodies fusing and everything. But like the computer stuff looks kind of cheesy and it gets a little like overblown. And it's funny because I read in the original story it was less of like the typical like eldritch body horror and more just like the color was just like sucking them from the inside and they just like withered, and it was
Yeah.
told from the perspective of like scientists like doing autopsies of their bodies, and that sounds
Yeah.
like a way more interesting and like easier to film angle than them angling for like this extravagant set piece thing that they can't really
Yeah.
pull off without looking kind of cheesy.
I think
Well, that's fair.
Nicolas Cage comes with the expectation that like crap is going to hit the wall in crazy ways.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I imagine the minute they hired him, they're like, we got to change the script. We got to make a mutant
Yeah.
mom child. Yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing with the people turning into husks, that's not gonna work with Nick.
Yeah.
That's not what he's looking to work with.
He can't go ham that way.
No.
Yeah. He's bringing his own props, guys. We got to use them. These are
Yeah,
his El
for-
Panchas on loan.
Yeah, and because Mike specifically requested this before we started recording, I'm gonna deliver. This kind of like reminds me of the Justice League Unlimited episode for The Man Who Has Everything. It's a Superman story where he kind of gets this like black flower that like implants itself into Superman, and he experiences like this alternate reality where he gets like everything that he ever wants, right? Like he has a wife and a kid and like all these things, but it's actually just like a Mongol is like using it to control Superman because he's in this like real world vegetative state. And that's kind of like what the short story is like, kind of like what you guys were talking about, where it's more about like this color is like draining the vitality and creating like this eldritch horror being thing. And a lot of the scary stuff is like, oh, like things are just a little bit off, and you kind of see it a little bit in the movie, right? Especially at the end of the movie when Ward is standing on the dam and he sees that like mutant insect thing with a color fly, it
Yeah.
kind of like flies through the
Mhm.
camera. So there's like some stuff, and you see like like that weird planet thing. But a lot of the horrors is just like, oh, these people got fused together and and whatever, and
Well,
less about like the implied like the horror of like losing one's sanity, which was kind of like
yeah.
the big push in the Superman episode and the original the Color Out of Space story.
Right. Well, consider this. Now, this movie came out in 2019. In
Mhm.
2018, the Cloverfield Paradox came out in Annihilation, and I kept getting vibes from that in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie did it better than those guys, admittedly, but that whole like weird body horror, like throwing spaghetti across the wall of weirdness and seeing what sticks. Both of those movies had that, so I'm wondering if Shudder was like, "Oh man, we gotta jump on this this weird sci-fi train."
Yeah. I'm also
Yeah.
curious, like, what year did Mandy come out? 'Cause I feel like that might have been
Oh.
before that, and I feel like I kind of get vibes from that, or at least like the poster with like the colors and like
The
the
colors are
girl.
very
I don't know.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has the same blood splatter on his
Yeah.
face that he
Yeah.
has in this movie.
Yeah. Purple
Mhm.
Pink is Nicolas Cage sci-fi body horror.
That's his color.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I want to ask, our, Vic, is how how did you feel like the film compared to the short story?
Well, if I'm being completely honest, there's a lot there are things about the short story I don't
Yeah,
that are hard for me to recall.
yeah,
I didn't go back to it after
hmm,
watching this movie.
yeah,
Um, but from what I could tell you from my experience of reading Lovecraft's short fiction,
yeah,
that's all he wrote. All the man wrote besides his um In the Mountains of Madness novella, all he wrote was short, pulp fiction magazine
right,
type pieces, you know. And there's only so much that you can do with a limited amount of material like that.
yeah, yeah,
So, you know, uh, when a director decides that they're going to take, you know, one of these stories like this and bring it to the big screen, it's really, I feel like it puts a lot on them to try to really convey the vision that they have, and
yeah,
try to do it with as much creativity and originality as they can without having to fall back on
yeah,
lazy
yeah, right.
ideas.
For sure. No, I
Mhm.
totally agree. Like it felt like this film was somebody read read the short story and then was like, "Guys, I created this awesome D&D campaign," and they just kind of ripped off the color out of space.
Right.
And like everyone at the table like knows what they're referencing, but everyone's like, "This is too cool. We're just gonna go full in." Um,
Hey guys,
and
check out my HP Lovecraft AU.
right, exactly. That's exactly what this feels like. And yeah, it kind of feels like, when you were at the lunch table, in eighth grade, and, that one friend in the friend group that's like, you're not really sure who he was friends with to get into the friend group with, but like their mom or dad lets them drink Mountain Dew after 8 p.m. and they can like watch FX. It is like trying to tell you what his older brother told him about H.P. Lovecraft. You know what I mean? That's what this felt like.
Well, that is hilarious that you guys are showing that clearly that there's some creative licensing. And the
Mm.
first review I go to, by the way, Google gives this a 2.9, so I don't know why IMDb and Google are so against this movie. But the first review is really true to the original story. Someone wrote that. Uh, Maybe if it was The Thing, I think this person read The Thing, the novelization.
Are they reviewing the wrong movie?
I
Yeah,
don't know, but it does
Oops.
that's
not
wild.
sound like it's not true.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So
Yeah, because
another movie that this gave me vibes from is that indie horror movie, The Void,
Oh,
oh yeah,
Hmm.
because that movie is kind of like a tribute band to H.P. Lovecraft.
yeah,
You know, the
yeah.
whole crossing over dimension, dark god coming through the portal.
right.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah,
I was mostly getting like Stranger Things vibes while I was
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah.
I feel like ever since, I feel like we live in a world of science fiction that is pre Stranger Things and that is post Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like there were quite a few elements that were kind of leaning a little more toward that lazy, do it like Stranger Things. kind of vibe would be.
Yeah. Like just make it
It's
neon and
Mhm.
weird. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and have one of the
Having-
kids like smoking pot, being and have this other like burnout, show up.
Yeah.
Who's
As a little
flooding in the
kid that's
woods.
connected to the evil darkness somehow.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, seeing that The Color Out of Space was also a short film in 2017, and that was 5 minutes long, I think it's not that big of a story. They had to
They had to
pad
pad the
the
runtime.
runtime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. I mean, for context, I in preparation for this, I went back and reviewed the audio book version um of this story, and in comparison to, I mean, it's one of the longer novellas. It's it takes about an hour and 12 minutes for the narrator to read it. So the audio book version is about as long as the movie version. um
Whoa.
but when you think about it as like a book, like that's not long at all.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Like if you've ever, read any of like the any like the Star Wars movie novelizations, or if you like I had the episode 3 novelization on audiobook because, well, I was at the time I was deployed to Afghanistan. I wasn't going to be able to see it in theaters, so my wife sent me the audiobook, but that thing was like 12 hours long.
What the
Mul-
heck?
yes, multiple compact discs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and for comparison, things like, I don't know, like Sanderson's, like, you know, a Sanderson novel is over 50 hours.
Mm, yeah.
And
So
that's why
like
we don't watch his movies.
Brandon Sanderson. I don't think any of his works besides maybe Wheel of Time have been made into film. But he didn't
Mhm.
he didn't initially write Wheel. This isn't a Brandon Sanderson novel or a podcast.
No.
But I think that's to say, I think the beauty of Lovecraft and why it's so relevant now with things like the TV show Lovecraft Country and Stranger Things, and even stuff like Sinners, that came out, like, this year too, is that it's how much of it is up for interpretation, and how much of a focus on world building he has in his short stories, and how much he like leaves to the interpretation of the reader to then go on and make their own stories.
Yeah.
So I do
Mhm.
feel like, while the movie isn't a very faithful adaptation in terms of, like, one for one, scene for scene, beat for beat, it does feel very like inspired by,
Yeah.
faithfully from its source material.
Mhm. They get the crazy part down, which I think that
Yeah,
you got to
Cage.
get the crazy part.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's not HP Lovecraft. And
Right.
at first, I was kind of confused. Like, what? Why? Why is Nicolas Cage getting angrier and angrier? Like, is this going to pay off? Is he going to explode at the end?
yeah,
And then, but it kind
Mhm.
of all builds into like the one of the major symptoms of this alien coming is that like
Mm.
you kind of just go crazy and you're just like angry at everything and you're screaming at your car and
Well, it wasn't even like just straight anger. I mean, it was like it was hyperbolic, like the scary kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
crazed.
when I was seeing, the fused animals, the chimera, like, the mother and the son, uh, yeah, that was set, yeah, that was unsettling. That was, yeah, weird. Seeing seeing a father, like, Nicolas Cage portraying a father that was like losing all grip on reality, you know, pinging back and forth from like, you know, in unreal fiery rage and just, you know, complete adoration for his family. That was truly scary
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. And when the wife got into it too, because I was worried that like it was just Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage, but like when the wife started screaming back at him, and I'm like, oh yeah, here comes the craziness, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's all starting to pay off now, so I'm glad it paid off. That, you know, like the Cloverfield paradox, where it just threw a bunch of crazy stuff at you, and you were supposed to draw your own conclusion. No one liked that. The movie got panned for that. So when a movie's trying to be like unpredictable and weird, it has to end with like a major payoff. And I think this is what the movie did. You know, it went full uh alien hellscape at the end.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, for anyone confused, the like fits of rage that he would have were like funny, and like I don't. They started funny because he's doing a really weird voice that he only does when he's angry.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I don't even know what kind of like accent he slips into, but it's not his normal voice. It's like a weird like California surfer dude, like Valley Girl type, like whining.
Is it like, well, if we could all just get along,
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
What
very
a-
just like, oh.
yeah. Like, and he has like sassy dad anger, which is
Yeah.
it's the hilarious part. He's like, whatever happened to family values? It's just like,
Or
oh my gosh, he's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
or when he like famously recites the alphabet in that same like
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, there were some funny parts in the movie.
Oh yeah, you
So
got to be funny
and
with
what
Nick.
and what, you know, I thought was an interesting way of how they were playing off, you know, the behavior of the family with, you know, against the environment of the house and the property. Like, he's having this, you know, this crisis of, you know, reality, but he doesn't see that his entire yard is like turning fuchsia.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Right.
getting like this weird, you know, this weird overgrowth, this invasive species of flower and other, and like he just refuses to see it.
Yeah, the random earthquakes, light explosions, you know, they don't help either. Which
Yeah.
that kind of like angers me in these kind of movies, because like when it's so clear to the audience that like, yes, the aliens are here and they are making it so obvious. And then like the dad is like, you know, why didn't you feed the alpacas? And like there's a UFO behind him, like sucking up cows. And they're like,
Like, the
please.
alpacas are the most important thing in this
Yeah.
situation.
It's like, oh my gosh, some context, please.
Yeah, I feel like there was some kind of theme because earlier in the movie he was talking about how he didn't want to turn into his dad, and it's implied his dad was like an angry, abusive man. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if like his little fits of rage was like the color making him turn into his dad. I don't know why it would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seemed to just like cool things would happen, but it's like the movie was taking on too much at once. It was like, okay, pick, you know, like what what themes and what like horror you want to have.
Right.
Because
Choose a
there's like too
lane.
much going on. Yeah.
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 I do
Well, the
think it was
quote-
funny because towards the end of it, there's a scene where the sheriff gets picked up by a tree and he's
Yeah.
like killed and impaled by a tree.
Yeah.
And it brought to mind, I'm pretty sure there's a scene in Dante's Inferno where they're like in
Mhm.
the forest where like the bodies are on the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is all part of
Oh, you're
one
right.
universe, folks.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
because his mother was a
And
tree.
and to quote, and to quote Nick Cage in a completely different film, now on any other day, that might seem a little strange.
What blows my mind is that this is the second movie featuring an otherworldly power fusing mutated people together. We can't even say it's the first, and we haven't even seen The Thing yet, which inspired it all. Yep. So
Mm.
another good point about this movie is Nicolas Cage. This is his second movie I've seen in an apocalypse situation where he's a dad. I've seen The Arcadian,
Mm-hmm.
and The Arcadian, it was pretty good. He wasn't crazy Nick Cage in that one. He was responsible, good dad Nick Cage, and
Boring.
yeah, and actually that was my criticism is like he's not that special in this movie. He's too responsible. The crazy part of Arcadian was that like the alien monster was like hippo shaped and had like
Yeah.
crazy vibrating teeth and could swallow you with its reverse stomach, and it could turn
Yeah.
into a giant flaming Ferris wheel.
Mm.
Um,
Well,
so the alien had to carry the Nick Cage in that one.
right,
Um,
right. Well, I think we're also missing out on a very good comp, other Nicolas Cage movie involving things from outer space destroying things, knowing. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know what it is about like Nick Cage and like these like esoteric like movies, but he's just like the perfect person for it.
Yeah.
yeah, he was pre-made for the apocalypse.
Like Eldritch apocalypses
Yes.
for sure.
I will
Oh my
say I
gosh.
think his best horror film or just film is definitely Willy's Wonderland.
I don't know if I've seen that.
I'm
It's like
so
a
glad you
FNAF
mentioned that.
inspired thing because it's like evil animatronics in like a kid's pizza place, but it's like actually good. Like it's not
Yeah.
like it's like
Oh,
what the FNAF movie should have been.
dang.
Yeah, I saw
Wow.
that, and
Yes.
I really liked it. The fact that he chose to be mute in that movie.
That's
He does
great.
not speak. He does not speak a single word of dialogue,
No.
and he's still
What?
full Nicolas Cage.
That's crazy.
Wow.
They don't even explain why. Like they don't say, "Oh, my janitor friend was born mute." No, it's just like this is my decision. I'm sorry if you wrote a script for me. I'm not going to say anything in it.
Now I really have to see Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, it keeps showing up free in places like Tubi. So
Maybe next go around.
maybe, but I'm not
Yeah.
picking it.
You're not making us watch something decent.
Yep.
Does he fight? I can't remember if it's like a demon or if it's like an otherworldly being in that movie Season of the Witch with Ron Perlman and Nick Cage.
Oh. I
He's
think I
like
know what you're talking about.
he's like a Teutonic knight or something, or like a you know, and he like, oh man, it's escaping me, but he's like coming back from the Crusades, and they like there's like a oh man, there's like a witch that's like making the Black Plague or something, and then he like fights the devil or something.
Wow.
Awesome.
Not
That sounds great.
unlike Dante's Inferno.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Suffice to say, Nicolas Cage is well acquainted with fighting otherworldly beings.
It's true.
Yeah.
In fact, I want to do a thing where you either play, you don't tell me which one it is, but it's either The Sorcerer's Apprentice or The Last Witch, and I have to guess which one it is. It's harder than it sounds.
Is he also in Solomon Kane?
Let's just assume he is. At this point, what isn't he in?
Oh man.
Somehow he was in the movie The Flash, and he wasn't even in that movie.
You're right. That's messed up.
Hey,
Also,
wild.
Tommy Chong in this movie named his cat G-Spot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That is,
That's
I
crazy.
am so glad that you noted that.
Yeah, how have we not talked about Tommy Chong yet?
We already
We
did. We
were
talked about
just
all the
scratching the
great movies
surface
he
of
was
all the
in.
weirdness.
Yeah, like what was the point of his character?
Ezra?
Yeah.
I feel like Ezra knew a lot more than he was letting on.
Like there's a reason he was off the grid like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you see Tommy Chong and you see, his character Ezra out in the woods with, you know, uh, spare parts and like toys, doll parts like all over the place. Thinking, oh, he's
Yeah.
a crazy old hippie burnout guy. But when you start listening to him, it's like he's the only one in the area on the property who knows exactly what's going on. Like
Yeah.
he knows that something came down from space. He knows that it's in the earth. He knows that it's trying to infect all the life around the area. Just
Mhm.
Yeah.
man.
Also,
Yeah.
when you sent in the chat that like Ezra was your favorite part of the movie, I was like, I swear to God, if Ezra Miller is in this movie, I'm not watching it.
Nope, different Ezra.
Yeah, the crazy part is like he knows what's happening, and it's kind of refreshing because no one is telling you what's happening till the very end, where you kind of get like, oh, I get it. They're all turning crazy. But then like he's like, oh yeah, my cat's dead forever, and it's in the water, and it's too late. We're all doomed. You're like, okay, finally, someone gets it. It's the guy who does drugs.
Well,
And
all the male characters were like doing drugs. Cause like even Nick Cage's character was like a burnout on LSD.
Yeah,
Well, I'm pretty sure they said, like his daughter says, he used to do drugs in the 70s
Yeah.
or whatever. Like,
Right.
yep.
Crazy.
I loved his spiel about him freaking out about the smell,
Yeah.
because that seems to be a repeating theme. He's like, yeah, it smells like death, like that cancer you had. It smells like death. Is there death in here? I swear there's some death in here. Just like, just goes so crazy.
Yeah, he just
I wouldn't be surprised if that's improvised.
it just felt like he had OCD.
Yeah.
or maybe he like spontaneously developed the gift that some dogs are trained to quote unquote sniff out cancer.
Yeah.
oh.
Like he must have like thought of that. You must have seen an article about that. Like, wait a minute, if the what if I make the dad start smelling death? Let's put that into the performance.
Just one of the many things leaped into this movie.
Yeah.
Was anyone bothered when we're introduced to Jack, and he's hanging over the well, and he throws like a bunch of leaves in it? I got so angry. I'm like, that's drinking water, you jerk.
Yeah, I
can't do
hated that kid.
He deserved it.
He got
No
fused into
wonder-
his mom. I was like, good.
No wonder this family's insane. You keep throwing dirt and leaves into the well.
He just throws mercury into the water.
Found this uranium.
Also, how irresponsible is Ward? He's like he witnesses all of this and he's like, yeah, I'm still gonna build a dam and contaminate all the water in the area. This is fine.
Uh,
Well, it wasn't up to him. It was, it was the mayor's call.
Right. But like, you would think that Ward would have been like, I don't know, he would have done everything in his power to stop it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you saw, and maybe that's why I'm not an HP Lovecraft protagonist, but I just feel like I witnessed this awful thing happen. I'm gonna go full Aaron Brockovich. Like this isn't happening. I'm getting a lawyer, and we're suing, and this isn't happening. No more tentacle planets.
The last
Well,
hour of your Lovecraft movie is just like a courtroom drama.
And because we all listened to
who would-
Ward, we didn't drink the water, and no one got insane.
Right.
The most boring HP story.
Well, in his defense, if you witnessed an eldritch horror from outer space come down and nuke, 10 acres or so of ancient forest, you might be a little burnt out on that too.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would even believe him? If
Who
he
would
went,
even believe?
who would even believe him?
So,
Also, on the whole, though, kind of a weak Eldritch Horror. Like, it nuked one piece of property and like 5 people. That's like when
that's
you
a
find
long.
out the Predator in the original Predator was like a weak young one.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
they couldn't
like-
afford more actors. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's going to eat the whole world, it's going to take a long time. Okay, first I got to make them crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicolas Cage came that way, so that was fast. But now we got like normal people.
We're gonna need a lot more fuchsia rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if maybe this was at this point I had was just done with the movie. But what happened to Lavinia? Is she dead? Is she just vaporized? Is she on this other planet? Like, what happened to her?
I feel like the energy of the organism just consumed her.
Yeah.
Right. So is she dead or like?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
she's
what happened to
she's
her?
dead. She's dead. She's gone.
But
Her-
even Nicolas
when
Cage
your
got it.
matter gets transmuted into energy, there's just no surviving that. I don't think.
But like Nicolas Cage, he got a ghost story in his. Even after being shot, he got to sit and watch TV and attack Ward too. I mean, Lavinia should have gotten that, courtesy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not to get too canon, the Lavinia is of course named after one of the main characters in the Dunwich Horror. which is what the director wants to do next, the adaptation, the Dunwich Horror. So I wonder if they're gonna
Oh.
bring her back somehow for this. Yeah, I mean, or is it just like a, hey, like this is a name that people that are familiar with the property will like know, because like Ward, of course, is like named after Dexter Ward from the other one of HP Lovecraft's um books, the Curious Case of not Curious Case, the Case of Dexter Ward, um, which is like, you know, one of
I
HP
mean, Ward
Lovecraft's.
is the latter half of, Howard of Howard Phillips Lovecraft. So, I mean, the name of the hydrologist is
Oh.
just, most of his the abbreviation, of his name just
Yeah.
is just there. It's just Ward Phillips.
Right. So yeah, right. But yeah, it makes you wonder if they're gonna do, maybe it's just like, oh hey, like this is a reference to other pieces like Case of Charles Dexter Ward, or like, are they just going to be, are they actually going to do sequels? So I do like, whenever someone dies and there's not a body, I don't trust that they're dead. Just like
No
Yeah,
body, no
Yeah.
murder.
body.
that's the Marvel DC
Star
paranoia.
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. You've been jaded.
Yeah.
Your object permanence is showing.
It doesn't exist.
Mhm.
Well,
It's a pity we
friends
don't.
should-
It's a pity we don't see G Spot.
Yeah,
again.
right. More.
Well,
Yeah.
we kind of do.
They mentioned that
Yeah.
she lives inside the alpacas.
Yeah.
There's a-
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Mutilated body.
She was like it was like the sheriff was like
Yeah.
with the hunter, called Ward over to his truck, pulled open a tarp, and there's like this meaty mass of, he said, deer, birds, like he said, I think there's a cat in there, and then Ward sees, woven into the mess, the bell collar.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
yeah, found her.
R.I.P. G Spot.
RPG spot.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
So-
better than H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name.
Which is
Oh, I'm not saying it.
oh,
Oh, you don't know. Oh, okay.
I did. I mean, I figured it was probably something racist, maybe based on what you're saying, and based on HP Lovecraft. But that's really funny. I now have something to Wikipedia.
All right. Everyone has a Google assignment.
Already on it.
Don't let anyone see what you're looking up.
Don't do this at the library,
Yeah.
folks. Yeah. Let's listen to some reviews.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Nope.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, reviews.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's so many to pick one. Here are some of my favorites. Here's one from Rotten Tomatoes, from your friend and mine, Spike D. 1 star. Just another entry to an ever-expanding list of films that confuse the rote suffering of animals with effective storytelling.
That's what I got out of
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
What?
Right out the gate, we've got the angry redditor.
Here's another half a star rating from Lucas D. I'm just angry. I don't understand how the ratings for that movie are that high. Movie is terrible. Acting is terrible. CGI is terrible. I've never reviewed any movies, but I had to create an account just to give a review for this one.
I feel like I
Wow.
spoke too soon.
He's living that hater life.
And
He's hater coded.
here's my my favorite review. Here's the headline for the review. 55 people found this review helpful. 40 people found it unhelpful. This is from Marshall on Film from 2020. The title is "We're a Family. If there's one thing families do, it's stick together. Now feed your mother." Richard Stanley's comeback to feature cinema is equal parts breathtaking and terrifying experience, highlighted by gorgeous cinematography, an overwhelming dread, and of course a bizarre Nicolas Cage performance. Take some umbrage with the film's pacing and runtime. I couldn't wait to leave this doomed farm in the best way possible. 7 out of 10 buckets of alpaca milk.
I agree with that rating system.
Yeah, that's
Someone
good.
get it.
That's a good review. Now that we've heard other people's reviews, shall we review it ourselves?
Yes.
I
So
guess so.
right off the bat, who wins in this movie? It could be an actor, it could be a performance, a set piece, or the guy who does, Lovecraft services. See what I did there?
Hey.
Nice.
So, Adam, we'll start with you.
Oh man, I feel like there were a lot of people that deserved a nod for this. I was actually very impressed for the budget of this movie for the CGI. I feel like they did an awesome job of like color and using like I know the reviews you just read didn't really paint the CGI in a good light, but it was very cool for what it was, and it did feel like it had its own unique take on it. So shouts out to the CGI team.
Mhm. All right, and Ivy, who wins?
G-Spot.
Mm. Never forgotten.
Faithful
For
cat.
all the kitty treats,
All right.
all the fancy beasts.
Yeah.
Put out a bowl of kill for G-Spot.
I'm going to say, this is such low-hanging fruit, but Nicolas Cage, the minute I saw him like looking like a meth addict, scratching his arm saying, "I have a rash." Oh, my family's sitting out in front of the living room. They're all there. The minute he did that whole bit, I'm like, I love this alien. I love what it's doing to Nicolas Cage. And I hope this alien shows up in every one of his movies. So, Nicolas Cage, under the influence of this alien, is the winner.
Nice.
And Vin, who wins?
I still got to give it to my man Ezra. Tommy Chong's
Tommy
character.
Chong.
Yes. This it was him explaining. He was the only sane voice in the movie, hiding in plain sight. Like, yes, there's this veneer of crazy old guy hiding out in the woods, but was anything he said wrong?
Right.
Was he wrong?
Well, for someone who knew what was up, he died pretty quickly and effortlessly.
He made no effort to escape.
Yeah. So maybe he wanted to die.
Yeah.
Just accepted the futility of life.
Mhm.
Like,
I'm
this
sure
thing
he died
is...
doing what he loved. Smoking
Yoga
a big old
and
bong.
He died as he lived, smoking.
Yeah.
Mhm. And finally, is this to be the greatest? To be enjoyed? To be avoided? Or just to be forgotten? Ivy, we'll start with you.
I'm going to say to be avoided. I didn't absolutely hate it, but I just didn't get a lot out of it personally. And it's just, I probably would have watched it eventually of my own accord, but it's not something I would ever watch again. or necessarily like recommend to people. Yeah, just go watch Reanimator. Honestly. Don't read
Fair
it
enough.
though. Do not read Reanimator. That's the only Lovecraft I've ever read. And I was like, oh, I like Reanimator. And then every other paragraph was like extremely racist. So just watch Reanimator and leave it at that.
Classic.
He was a product of his time.
1900s writing.
Mm.
Even other racists at the time thought he was really racist. So
Yeah. You're going a little too hard there, HP. You want to dial it back?
Mm.
yeah.
Fine.
If I have
Um, I'm going to
If
say
I must.
to be enjoyed. It can't be to be the greatest because this is not Tubi's greatest. Tubi's
Yeah.
greatest is that movie about grandma that's slipping
Don't
my
mess with
mind.
grandma.
Don't mess with grandma.
Yeah.
Is
Totally.
Tubi's greatest. And I expect that kind of choices from this group, not this movie that I might accidentally see in theaters on purpose. This is a
Something you might
warning.
pay
Vin.
actual money for.
Yes. This is your first warning, Vin. Don't let it happen again.
I promise nothing.
Wild.
All right. Adam.
I feel like this movie falls into an interesting place because it's not bad enough to be like a a cult classic, Leviathan situation, right? Where it's like it's so bad it's like entertaining, but it's also like not good enough to be like, you know, the substance,
Yeah.
Uh
Mm. Mm. Mm.
so it's like I will
So is it a
say I
bad
will
good or a good bad?
right. I would say this is to be enjoyed, but with the asterisks of if you like Nicolas Cage, you like HP Lovecraft, or a combination of the both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this movie would have been served better if it was like a half an hour shorter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
But
Yeah.
I would say to be enjoyed. Of the things that we've watched, I think it was among the better options.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so if it wasn't if it was like Chris Hemsworth was the dad, this movie would suck.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And it
Ryan
had to be
Reynolds.
Cage. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds was the dad. Yeah, it would suck.
Yeah. And I also feel like if you showed up to like your high school or like your college's like film club and you're like, "Oh, hey guys, let's watch this." You wouldn't get laughed out of the room. People would be like they'd be like, "Oh, this is like fake deep." This, you know what I mean? Like you would
Yeah.
impress your like your fake film nerd friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. This is
All
like
right.
the the indie horror movie equivalent of, knowing the right three chords on a guitar to,
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So like Crossroads. Yeah.
Well, cause like this has like all the ingredients, right? It's inspired by Lovecraft. It has, a like quasi legendary director that kind of like made, some, quasi legendary things. And then like it's got a cast of like Nicolas Cage and young and up and coming guys, and it's produced by Elijah Wood that we didn't even touch on. Um
Are you
and
serious?
oh yeah, do we
Yeah, I
have
saw it in the
that
credits.
completely passed me by.
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Wow.
So it has all the ingredients for something good, but then when it's served to you, it's just like liver pate, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
This
This is Dino Nuggets.
Hey, don't you ever
I ordered
disrespect
chicken
Dino
tendies.
Nuggets.
These are
Yeah.
Dino Nuggies.
Yeah.
All right. Vin, did we miss it? Did we miss Vin?
Vin,
No,
you got to tell us.
I am, last to go, as this was my pick
Yes.
for
Yes.
this week, and I'm actually kind of in agreement with you, Adam. I'm sort of torn between the two camps of either saying that this is to be enjoyed or enjoyed with the disclaimer of, this might not be your thing if,
Yeah.
because there were so many interesting choices that Richard Stanley made in this, in terms of the look of the set, how, like the special effects, and to say nothing of Nicolas Cage's, a bizarre Midwestern dad performance. Yeah, it kind of left me, it kind of scratched the itch of, wanting something, creepy, mildly disturbing, something that, might, keep me up a little bit at night, like the old Lovecraft stories did. But I feel like in some of the ways they just kind of went the lazier route.
Hmm.
Like they didn't make enough choice. Like you said, like if this movie were a half hour shorter with, some better editing, some, some tighter pacing, this would be, a great horror film. But
Right.
yeah, that's where I'm gonna have to put it. I mean, if you got nothing else to watch, and you're a fan of body horror, and just like, the classically creepy type Lovecraftian vibe, give this a shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. If
I
humans, I was just going to say, if Human Centipede isn't on, this is a great second.
I am going to pretend you did
choice.
not say that. I did not hear
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same.
You
Yeah.
can't say body horror without Human Centipede.
I'm sorry. I thought you just said something that I thought I said I didn't hear earlier.
Wild. Oh my gosh. Well, on that bombshell, I feel like it's time for us to end.
Yeah. Every episode
Uh-huh.
ends with me mentioning Human Centipede. That's got to stop, guys.
Really?
At this point, it's a
Guys,
problem.
what?
It's like I'm not even here.
We didn't do this.
Yeah. Don't scapegoat us. This is all you.
Fine. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Next 2 weeks, we'll have my pick. And
Ooh.
I want to punish you guys.
Please do.
Hear me out. I just found Roger Corman's Fantastic Four on archive.org.
Oh, bro.
Hey,
But
this
you
is
got-
Tubi.
Yeah, but it's Tubi, and so I can't. And the fact that you guys would straight up lynch me.
Well, I mean,
was
straight
your
up
hear me out cake like this? Like we have Tubi at home?
Yeah.
Type offering?
Tubi does have that. It has Doomed: The Untold Story of Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. Or no, it's the documentary about it. Never mind.
It's a documentary, which is award winning compared to. But anyways,
Ignore me.
I'm going to find something fun and exciting, something that one of you is going to like. At least that's my goal.
Yeah,
Meatballs
take us
forward.
to a happier place.
Yes.
If I'm being honest, I'm a little burnt out on the whole darkness type vibe.
Existential dread,
Yes.
psychological torment.
Well, it's a psychological summer, so we'll see.
I do like the sound of that.
Anyways, I've been Mike.
I'm Adam.
I'm Ivy.
And I'm Vin.
And thank you for joining us for To Be Decided.
Yeah. Got my popcorn for the show, it's Tubi time. Cheesy sci-fi flicks and every weird rhyme. Aliens and spaceships made of tinfoil dreams in a cardboard universe where nothing's as it seems. Yeah, that's it seems. They got ray guns blasting in a paper sky. Cheap effects, but fun enough to fill your eye. Plot holes deeper than a crater on the moon, but I'm hooked like fish to a melody and tune.